Hello everybody, my name is Robert and this is Review Clue. Now you'll probably notice at the start of this video and at the end of last week's video I actually didn't acknowledge Lola at all. There is a reason for this. She unfortunately did cross the Rainbow Bridge a week and a half ago now, and it came out of nowhere. We took her to the vet for an X-ray and she just died and passed out on the table, so we're not going to be hearing from Lola anymore on this channel, and it is really sad, but we here at Review Clue are moving on and moving forwards, and that leads us on to today's video, which is going to be on the Amazefit Zenbuds. Now, you'll probably remember a couple of years ago now, I think it was maybe 3, maybe a little bit more, Bose released some products called the Sleep Buds. Now, these sleep buds were tiny little earbuds that you placed into your ear, obviously, they are earbuds, but they helped with sleep. So they would play a continuous sound, be that birds chirping, the beach, or whatever, and it was used as a way to block out any outside noise and also play relaxing music as you sleep. These things were discontinued, I think, 2 years ago now, due to massive battery issues. And then this year, the company Amazefit came along. Now, you'll probably remember Amazefit from their watches. I believe I've reviewed their Stratos series, and they've done a lot. They are a big player in the health and fitness world. They released these, the Zenbuds. These were, I believe, £80 on Indiegogo. They are still on Indiegogo, but the price is higher now. And basically what these things are is they are the successor to those Bose Sleep Buds. So what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and straight get into an unboxing of these, have a look at them, and then I'll explain my experience of using them, because I've used these for 2 dates now, and I'm actually quite impressed by the amount of metrics and data we can get off of these things. So let's go right ahead and get into this unboxing. But before we do that, if this is the first time you're seeing my face on your screen, 1, lucky you, and 2, please go down and consider subscribing to my channel, hitting that bell notification icon, so you get notified every time I upload a new video. Anyway, let's get right into this unboxing. Okay, so here we are with the pretty nice looking box, to be fair. Now, the box is white all over with this sort of silver text. Let me get that up close for you there. All this text is silver, which makes it really nice and eye-catching, but really, really hard to read. You can, of course, see the buds there as well. As we look around the box, there isn't too much information. You get all the sort of major information on the back here, but we're not going to bother too much about that. And we're just going to go ahead and open up the box straight. Moving the outer sleeve out of the way, we do of course get the Amazefit box, and as we lift off the lid to that, the first thing we see is the Amazefit charging case. So we're going to place that off to the side, pull there, and we see, I think, probably some instructions. So go ahead and take it. Oh my god, look how thick that is. Man, that is a thick instruction manual. I think you got every language under the sun there. So if you need all your warranty information and all of that, it's there. And we of course do also get these, which are some spare buds. Let's open those up. So there they are. So you can choose a small, medium, and larger size. You've got 4 sizes in all, so you will definitely find a size that fits you best. I find the size that are already on the case, or already on the buds, to be perfect for me. But hey, I might just have small ears. And we do, of course, get a USB-C cable. It is a little bit sad, actually, to see that we don't have any wireless charging with this case, but for that £80 price tag, I'm not so worried. But let's go ahead and move all of this box out of the way and have a look at the buds themselves. So the case itself is pretty small. Along the front, you get 3 LEDs to notify of battery life and to notify of when they are connected. Along the back, you get that USB-C cable. Along the bottom, you've got some rubber feet, or 1 large rubber foot to stop it from moving. And on the front, you've got the Amazefit logo. Now, as we flip there, we do see the buds themselves and they automatically connect and start working. We can see that I've got full battery on these things. One thing I did notice though when doing this kind of action is it is very, very stiff, and I do feel like I'm going to break this sometimes. So that's something to keep in mind as well. So when you're opening the case, you do have to apply a certain amount of pressure, and it might feel like you're going to break them, but you won't. So we're just going to put that case down here, pull out one of the buds and take a look. So we can see the little squishy tip here. This squishy tip is going to ensure that these do not fall out of your ear. A little bit more on that one later when I go into the full review. Right now we're just taking a look at these buds. We've of course got the bud itself so that it will sit in your ear, and that's pretty much it. This is all you get. Underneath all of this you do get your 2 connectors for charging and also a little heart rate sensor. This will work out your heart rate as you sleep, which is pretty cool. So those are the 2 buds, and that's pretty much all you get in the case. It was a really simple unboxing experience. So let's go ahead, put these in the ear and have a little talk about my experience with them over the last 2 days. So how did I go about connecting these things up? Well, that was super duper simple actually. All I had to do was take the case, flip it open, take the earbuds out and place them in my ear. As soon as I did that, I already heard the music starting, and it was birds chirping for me. So I picked out the other one, put that one in my ear as well, and downloaded the Zeep app. They do say that it is the Amazefit app, but it is not called that anymore, or especially on iOS in particular, it's not called that anymore, it's called Zeep. So you need to download that, and then you would connect these like any other bud. Thank you, Siri. Like downloading any other product from Amazefit. You just click that plus button in the top corner, open up the buds, put them in your ear, and then a couple of minutes later, boom, it's done. And then from that point, these are ready to use. So let's talk about the different sounds that come with it. There are a couple of them that come with it. There's beach, there are birds, there is rainfall. I'll put a full list of everything that's on it. I think there's 9 different sounds or something like that. I'll put them all on the screen. And you can choose between these, but you do have to do that in the app. There's no way to change the sound that these things play outside of the app, which is a little bit annoying. If your phone dies, you're stuck with whatever sound it was playing. So it's not ideal, but it works for now. So once you've chosen that sound, that's it. You just put the earbuds in and you sleep. You don't have to activate them, you don't have to do anything else with them if you don't want to. There are lots of additional features, but if you just want to use these as noise blocking earbuds, then all you need to do is go in, choose your sound, put them in, go. So there are of course all these sounds that are already built in, but you can download some extra ones as well. On the app itself there is the My Music panel, and that shows a load of different tracks that you can download and transfer to these buds. Transferring is very, very slow. It's high quality audio and the Bluetooth connectivity is slow. So once you do this, I would suggest you choose a new sound at the beginning of the night and just let it transfer overnight as you sleep. There is no worry that these are gonna kind of mess with your brain or melt anything. You know, all you kind of tinfoil hatters, don't worry, there are all these regulations in place and you can see them on their website as well, that these buds are completely harmless and safe to use, so you're good on that front. So once you've downloaded all your music, what else can these buds do? Well, let's go ahead and put them in and we'll talk comfort before we get on to new features. So as you can see, the bud itself sits very, very flush with my ear. I'm just going to get a little bit closer there. And we can see how the little hook hooks into the little dimple there on my ear. We do the same with the other side. And from the front, I don't think you'd notice I was wearing anything. These things are super duper thin, super duper light, and super comfortable as well. I sometimes do forget that I'm wearing buds when I use these. While I'm sleeping, I forget I've got them in. They are that unintrusive. One thing I did find with the sleep buds by Bose is they fell out really easily. Like, I'd wake up and there'd be a bud on the other side of the bed or something. These ones, no, I don't get that. These don't fall out at all, which is pretty impressive, I feel. So let's go ahead and just take them out because I don't really need them in right now. But you can use them throughout the day as well. They have a focus feature, which allows you to set a certain amount of time that you're going to be focusing for, 25 minutes let's say, and then you want to take a 5-minute break. What it will do is play the audio for 25 minutes, giving you just some background noise to work to, and then after that 5 minutes it will alarm, and then nothing. So you've got that 5 minutes to take them out, do what you need to, and then pop them back in for that 25-minute period again. Really, really useful. But the sleep features, I think, are the most useful of this. Not only do they just play this sound, but they also track your sleep and they track your heart rate. The sleep data that I got from this thing is incredible, and I'll show you some of that in a minute on my phone. But this knows how you sleep, in what position you sleep most, whether you're in a deep sleep or a light sleep, and it gives you all of these metrics in a really interesting way. And I think it's a cool little feature to have, that I can track my sleep, because I feel sleep is just as important as a healthy diet and exercise in my life. I never get enough sleep, but these buds are slowly helping with that. I find with just the background noise, I can fall asleep pretty much instantly now, and I'll get a good 8 to 10 hours of sleep. And then I've got these alarms that go off as well, so these do have an alarm feature built in. And what's really nice about that is that alarm is only going to wake you up. It's not going to wake my partner up or anyone else in the room for that matter, because the only person that can hear them is me, because buds. So that's really cool. Let's go ahead and look at some of those metrics, and I'll explain whether I think these are worth that £80 price tag or more. It will be more now. It'll be closer to £150. Let's talk about some of those metrics and find out if I think that they are truly worth it for that price. Let's go. So let's go ahead and get straight into the Zeep app. I've just got to find it here. Or Zep. There we go. So here is the app itself. And the first thing we're going to notice, if I go to my profile, I can see the Amazefit Zenbuds there. And it's going to ask me to connect to them, so all I've got to do is simply take them out of the case. I can just pop them on the side. I don't need to put them in my ear if I don't want to at this point. And boom, we're in. So what we can see is along the top our battery life for each bud. And at the moment I'm playing the forest bird sound, and I can change the volume of these. I find 100 to be quite loud, so I normally have it at the 20 to 25 range. That's kind of background noise. It's not too loud. It's not going to disturb me at all. So here's the My Tunes section, and this is all the different sounds that we have right now. The ASMR one is one that I downloaded just because I was intrigued, but we can also go to Music Library and download a load of extra sounds as well. And the first thing that they'll do is they'll actually play through the phone, so you can get a general idea of what they're going to sound like. So this is Lover's Ballad, for instance. Probably not my cup of tea, but it's there if I want to. I can have a whale song. Again, maybe a little bit too much. Distant Stars. So that's quite a nice one. What we can do is we can hit that download button next to it and it will download it. There you go. We also have some ideas of playback duration. So in that top corner, you notice that I could go into settings. We could set a playback duration. For instance, we could have the sound playing for 1.5 hours before it automatically turns off. But it does also have smart playback, which will work out when you are asleep and stop playing the sound automatically when you fall asleep, which is really nice. We also have the earplug alarms, which is what I spoke of earlier, And we also get notification reminders of incoming calls. So you can't take calls on these, you can't play music through these. These are simply just sleeping buds. You wouldn't want to play music through these. They probably aren't that great in terms of sound. But for what you need them for, they're good enough. So it will notify you of incoming calls if that's something that you're interested in. But what we're going to go ahead and do is go all the way back to my normal profile. We're going to go to my sleep data. And we're going to go back to, I think it was 2 nights ago. Yeah, here we are. So that night I got 8.5 hours sleep. About 3 hours and 24 minutes of that was deep sleep and the rest was light sleep. Not great. So as we look down, I got a 99-point score. We can see that I didn't wake up at all during that night. And I had an average heart rate of 53 BPM, which is pretty good. Here's where things get really interesting though. So I laid on my back. This is called the supine position. 64% of my night was spent like that. But I also slept on my left a little bit and on my right as well. So that's a really interesting kind of metric to find out where I sleep and how I sleep. And I turned 13 times in the night. And what I can also do is I can say what I did before as a pre-sleep state. So maybe I had a hot drink, I listened to some music, and how did I feel when I woke up? Compared to other people, I fell asleep 92% earlier than most people, which is quite impressive really. And I have a longer deep sleep than 95% of other people as well. So it's all pretty interesting metrics, and I really love that we have all of these metrics right here. So what we're going to go ahead and do is go back to me in person, and we'll discuss whether I believe these buds are worth it for their price. Let's go. So how do I feel about these things? In terms of comfort level, I cannot fault them. I genuinely do forget that I'm wearing these buds. And have they helped with my sleep? I think that's the biggest question here. For between 80 and 150 pounds, did these actually help with my sleep? And I think I can safely say over the last 2 days, I have slept better. And having that performance metric there as well is really, really useful. You of course don't have to look at that if you don't want to. But I find it quite interesting when I've had a more restless night. I can kind of note down what I did that day. Was that day more stressful for me than another day? Did something happen that day that triggered that more restless sleep state? So what is my final verdict on these? I genuinely believe that these are something that people should be looking at, especially in this day and age with a lot of mental health problems, and let's be honest, none of us sleep that great. These buds are perfect because they are tracking that, and they're just helping to give a more relaxed state and a healthier well-being in general. Are they worth that £150 price tag? I'm not sure. I don't think I'd pay that much for them. In terms of what they do, I don't think they're worth that much. £80, I'm happy to pay that. I'm happy that I got these on that early bird £80 deal. So if you can get these on an offer that's under £100, I don't think you'll regret it. It's just missing some of those nice sort of comfort features like the wireless charging. So anyway guys, if you are interested, there'll be a link down in the description below so you can pick up a pair of these yourself, and let me know in the comments section down below as well. Have you used these kinds of buds before? Have you ever had problems with them? Are you going to pick up a pair of these? Anyway guys, if you like this video, don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, all of that jazz, and I will catch you in the next one. Adios.